Hello and good morning. I'd like to just make a quick video today. Um, a little bit about druidry, druidy, in light of some recent issues. And uh, I don't want to mention what it is exactly up front because when I do, what it's about is gonna happen. So I hope you'll humor me for a minute. But part of our operating system is to protect us from things that kind of are a danger. And so, in the situation I want to talk about today, we might have a very negative energy or a very negative thought that comes into our brains uh, related to shame and guilt. And our brain sort of puts up the defenses, puts up the walls, sort of as self defense. And we're presented with an option of, well, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to disavow it and move on, turn a blind eye to it. Or another option is to kind of take those walls back down and say, well, wait a minute, let me ponder that for a moment. Let me think about it. My two sons, my two kittens. And my hope is that that is going to be the second reaction, is the one that you're going to do. That's why I'm making the video. Your walls are going to go up, and then you're going to kind of say, well, wait a minute. Let me think about that. Okay. So that's the forewarning there. Um, but we're going to talk about a concept called white guilt. Uh, in my country, in my society in the United States, um, as a white person, I have benefited from being white. Okay, there's systemic racism in my country. I was afforded certain opportunities because I was white. And even though I think I'm an okay person, I don't talk, I, I, I really treat people as people, and I really do believe that we're brothers and sisters, okay? I benefited from that system. I was a participant in that system. Much like some fishes swimming in a stream, uh, the white fish had the current behind them, pushing them along, and that is uh, systemic racism. Because I was white, I had the current, I swam along with it, as opposed to a black fish who was swimming against the current. And so while we're both fish, it doesn't matter where we came from, how we were raised, what type of family we were born into, were our parents educated, did we have college, did we grow up in a home, did we grow up in an apartment. We had this current working for or against us. And that's systemic racism. That's white supremacy. Okay, that's racism. And so once you become aware of that, you you've white guilt. And in the matter of a heartbeat, our psyche will raise this wall up when we have white guilt. And we'll be like, okay, do I deal with this or do I deny it? Do I push it away? Okay. But we also have the ability to lower those walls and to be somewhat introspective and to recognize, yeah, I I was advantaged. I was gotten advantage from that system. What do I do about it now? How do I address that issue and make the world a better place? Okay. And I think that's where my druidry beliefs kind of come into play. According to Lagorsi, the Druids were champions of justice, and in the Druids' prayer, we beckon, for justice, for the knowledge of justice. Okay, and again, when faced with that situation of an injustice, there are going to be people put up those walls. Well, no, no, no. This is religion. No, no, no. This is uh, you know, which is their prerogative. But there's also going to be people who are like, you know what? We are brothers and sisters. And my brothers and sisters have been treated unfairly. What can I do to better that system? Which in my mind is more of a druid response, you know. Um, but we're all different. Okay? We have the ability to react how we want to react. But denying denying it's much easier to deny, put up those walls, and again in the United States, the saying Black Lives Matter. You know, there are people when you say Black Lives Matter, in a heartbeat, those walls come up. All lives matter. All lives matter. What do you mean Black Lives Matter? All lives matter. Okay. Denial. White guilt. Denial. Well, this is so and so, and he's black and da 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 da. He has it rough. Well, I had it rough too. Do you think I had an easy life? My childhood was terrible. Okay. Well, no matter how bad your life was, you still had the current of white systemic racism pushing you forward. And so uh, I think it's a much more mature response to say, you know what, there are there are things in my life, yes, I benefited from it, and acknowledging it, and to say, okay, how can I make a difference? How can I change myself so that I can help other people and the future to be a better place of living, you know? If you're willing to bend over backwards for a tree and plant seeds and everything, you're doing the same thing, but you're doing it with people. You're helping people out and everything. And I know, again, druidry, you get two druids together, you're going to have three different arguments, right? Three different points of view. But it just, you know, now that I'm aware of it and I'm woke to it, I can't say the druid's prayer and not think about the justice and the injustices that exist in this world and what I can do to make a difference, what I can do to make a change. And again, we pray for peace. We send out our energy for peace. But I know for myself, I have to do more than that. I have to get involved in the community. And I realize we got the COVID going on. You can't exactly go out into the world right now, but I wonder what things we can do. and what future we can make. You know, like I said, if you read the Gwersi and you look back at um, the Druids were they had power, they had control. Talks about kings, kings and queens would heed their counsel. They would seek their approval. And so the Druids of the past were definitely involved in politics. They were definitely involved in improving the lives of those around them. You know, they didn't just say, "Oh, la la la, I'm going to plant trees and herbs and I'm in my own little world." You know, so in our contemporary society, before those walls go up, I hope that you'll pull them down and say, what can I do? What can I do to make this a better place? How can I help out my fellow person? In the same way that we would help out uh, a wounded animal, or a child, or a friend, or a neighbor, our fellow man or woman who's in trouble needs our help. I hope. I hope. Anyway, thank you for the time. Peace and blessings.